Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Back to Back. I'm your host, Noah Cowan, alongside Alexander Kent. We're here to talk about baseball on and off the field. Alex, it was great seeing baseball coming back next week. How was your opening day?
The Mets had to wait a full weekend, so it wasn't as good as I thought. It was supposed to start on Thursday, and it was unfortunately on Monday. I lost to the Phillies 5-3. So, it's still baseball's back, so I'm glad, but we need the Mets to win first before I'm fully satisfied.
The Yankees lost, unfortunately. It's not the way I wanted to see it, but it was great to see the Yankees come back to Yankee Stadium and playing, baseball. Gotta love it.
We always talk about baseball. It's sort of an inside joke. Whenever we're in the house, baseball is the number one.
Speaking of baseball, let's go to the top of the first right now. With the Angels playing the White Sox on Sunday Night Baseball. Shohei Ohtani with the dinger to right field, Alex.
Yeah, that was a shot. 451 feet, and he started the game on the mound as well. Amazing stuff, right?
Shohei is back. Then we have David Fletcher with the single to right field. That was scoring one run. Angels will be up 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Just a great game overall. It started off 2-0 as there 3-0 right there as they scored there.
Then we got Shohei Ohtani on the mound. This part's really scary coming up here, Alex.
No, I have him on my fantasy team as well, and it just sucks as a baseball fan to see this. This play was wacky, so throw to the plate. And he gets slid into by Jose Abreu, who's also on my fantasy team. Just rough seeing that as a baseball fan.
Luckily, it was just soreness. Shohei's going to be A-OK. Then we have Jared Walsh here. Alex, you got a big man crush on him, don't you?
I have a lot of the Angels on my fantasy team. That was a moonshot to right field, and he wasn't done for the night, as we'll see soon.
He's a prospect to watch this season. Then we have Raisel Iglesias in the top of the ninth inning.
Adam Eaton hit that ball.
Oh, no! Oh,
we saw that last night. That was so bad, that throw. Right over third baseman's
That was
head.
very unfortunate for Raisel Iglesias right there, and the White Sox tied the game up.
Nothing for Rendon to do there. So,
bottom of the ninth, we got Jared Walsh up. What are we going to see? Oh, my God, no way.
No doubter. And
no doubter.
Was great on that call, too.
He went to Jared. Final score, Angels 7, White Sox 3.
Great Sunday Night Baseball to start off the year.
That was a great Sunday Night Baseball game. Back and forth. So, Alex, over the weekend, Shohei Ohtani not only pitched for the Angels, but he hit number 2 for them in the lineup, which hasn't happened in 118 years. So, do you think Shohei Ohtani is the biggest X factor for the Angels if they want to return to the postseason for the first time since 2014?
Well, I'm going to answer two things to that. I think he is the biggest X factor for the Angels and for baseball as a whole, for marketing them worldwide, and just the fact that he's a two-way player. I think the Angels need him along with just baseball as a whole for them to advertise more around him, because we haven't seen the likes of him since 1903 when the last player to do that. And unfortunately, as we saw in the highlights, he got a little sore. He actually sat the following day, but Ohtani means a lot to the game of baseball and the Angels, so they need him to return soon.
A-Rod said it best over Sunday Night Baseball. He is Masahiro Tanaka and Hideki Matsui combined, and he's a great thing for baseball. Like we've said the past couple of years, he's the next Babe Ruth pretty much, and honestly, he's the biggest X factor, not only in the lineup, but also we're talking about his health too. He's only been able to play 100 games on average, but he's only been able to hit in their lineup. So, that was some nasty stuff he threw on Sunday night. 101 miles an hour, that's very noteworthy to, consider.
Yeah.
So, the Angels need him to be in the lineup, every day and also pitch every 6 days if they want to get to the postseason.
The two last quick things I want to mention. He needs to get more control and command on the mound. And at the plate, he's already great. Just more consistency on getting on base. That's really it.
He's got the velocity for sure, but definitely he needs to stay healthy.
That's it. That's the big thing with him because we need him on the field.
Definitely. I love watching Shohei Ohtani.
Who doesn't? Yeah.
So, Nicholas Castellanos of the Cincinnati Reds was recently suspended 2 games for his actions over the weekend against the Cardinals, and he's actually appealing the suspension effectively immediately. So, Alex, do you think he deserved this suspension?
From what I saw, especially with the COVID era, the fact that players were fighting, I think that he deserved a suspension. 2 games, to me, is a little light, honestly. And I think other players deserve to as well. I think the reason he's appealing it is because he felt he was scapegoated. But at the same time, they need to punish someone, and he sort of instigated it. So, I understand why it happened, but we'll see what happens in the future. I think fighting in baseball is one of those things that it's a little puzzling. It's a gentleman's game, and then we have, people of both teams just fighting it out, and it's just something that I think needs to go eventually.
Look, I think that's the equivalent of any batter who hits a home run and he stares down the pitcher. That's just very uncalled for, and he really didn't need to taunt the pitcher whatsoever. Yes, it's good to celebrate, let's bleep and go, that's fine to say, but don't just say it in the pitcher's face, especially during a global pandemic. That's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's taunting, and it's very amateur level behavior from him, so.
And Yeah, he just definitely didn't need to do that whatsoever, and it could have been a lot more games if he especially touched him, which he fortunately didn't, because the Reds need his bat in the lineup.
He's on
for
fire
sure.
to start the year. If he does anything else, I mean, the Reds are going to tell him, if you're ever mad, just say it to us, not the other team's face. So that's what
He's definitely their biggest X factor, I would say, this season so far.
Yeah, Joey Votto.
Hot start. If you need to pick up power and average, pick up Castellanos.
Yeah, Joey Votto has been gone for a few years now. But still love the guy.
And then finally, going on to the New York Mets, they announced recently that they signed Frankie Lindor to a 10-year, $341 million contract extension. So, Alex, does he deserve it?
I mean, I hate to answer it this way. I mean, yes, I'm a huge Mets fan, as I say every single week, but nobody deserves that amount of money unless they're saving lives. I hate to bring politics. That's all I'm going to say. But no athlete in my eyes deserves $341 million. But for what the salary and the budgets have been for many years, yes, he deserves it. He's a great fielder, all-around guy, leader for this Mets team. Yes, he hasn't proved anything with them yet, but we'll see. I mean, $341 million is more than Fernando Tatis, who just got the most before him. So I think that he has to prove himself as a New Yorker. That's another thing, too. The limelight of New York is a huge thing that a player, if they're a superstar, has to deal with. We'll see what happens, but as a Met fan, there's euphoria going on in my head.
You could say Tatis is probably punching the air right now, just knowing that he has $1 million less than Frankie Lindor. But, yes, I think he did deserve the money. I mean, because of this, now he's honestly the face of the Mets, honestly. He's definitely there. And, comparing him to someone like Roberto Alomar, he had a 29.6 WAR in his first 6 seasons. Lindor has 27.9. That's very similar. He might be on pace to a Hall of Fame career. So, yes, it does seem like a lot of money. However, in the long run, it might be worth it.
Well, yeah, and one more comparison that I would like to make as well is, in a way, he has the glove of Omar Vizquel and the bat of Ernie Banks, combining the two together, and he hits from both sides. So if he does everything that we know that he's capable of, this is a great signing for the Mets. Hopefully not Bobby Bonilla 2.0, where he's still getting paid for the next few years. Yeah, it's something that, to this day, as a Met fan, I'm glad, but we have to wait day by day and see what happens. So.
Fun fact, at the end of Lindor's contract, Bobby Bonilla will still be getting paid.
It's never ending. That's just what
it is. Never ending, unfortunately. But coming up next on Back to Back, a new segment where we highlight the best ballparks in Major League Baseball. You will not want to miss this. Stay tuned.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 68. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for a new segment titled Noah's Journey Through the Show. Every so often, I will highlight a particular ballpark in Major League Baseball and, what makes it so enjoyable. So this week, Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Wow, I miss going to baseball games. Quick shout out to my cousin Sam, my dad, and my brother Spencer. We've been going to different ballparks for the last 10 years. We've been to 25 ballparks to date. Honestly, I would just like to say this is a top 5 ballpark for me, Alex. I mean, first of all, friendliest fans of baseball by far. Just everyone you talk to, they're just so, extremely friendly. And then, honestly, the backdrop in the outfield with that whole skyline there, it's very nice to see. Honestly, I would be open to watching baseball games at this stadium any day. If I want to.
I've only been to 4 or 5 in my life, as I've told you, and I'm jealous, and that's really glad to hear that you have a family tradition, and shout out to your family as well for doing that. That's a great thing. Camden Yards is one of my favorites. Baltimore.
Love Camden Yards.
Citi Field, obviously, for me, there's some bias as a Met fan. I always mention
Definitely.
that, but to me, even seeing that, as you saw,
I believe those are both in my top 5, by the way.
Seeing that video, it just makes me, as you said, miss going to the games, and I'm glad, even if it's limited capacity, that they're still allowing fans.
I will surely try to go to baseball games during the summer, for sure.
That's a goal. Yankees, Mets, whatever team, we got to go.
Definitely have to go. And that was Noah's journey through the show. Coming up, our April predictions. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss this. You're watching back-to-back on WTOP 10.
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org. They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. The pressure's too much. I quit. I get it. I can do better. Just please don't leave.
Don't let your heart quit on you. Get your uncontrolled high blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back, everyone. It is time right now for our April predictions. So first up, Alex, which team will have the best record in the month of April?
Speaking of a team that you just showcased in your journey through the show, I got to go with the Minnesota Twins from the AL Central. And for me, they have the rotation with Kenta Maeda as their ace, who proved himself last year with a career year. And then Jose Barrios, who's been a rising star for the last few years as their number 2. Then they got power hitters like Nelson Cruz, my man, as I said before. Max Kepler's really solid. Byron Buxton's coming into his own as a speedster. And just an overall power hitter, too. You wouldn't even think that when you first realized who he was. I mean, he used to only steal bases. This year, off to a hot start, was a 3-hitter the other night. So I think the Twins, their division's not the strongest. And just in general, I know it's a tough thing to say that they'll have the best record in April out of all of baseball, but I'm going with the risky move. I'm going to say the Minnesota Twins. So
that's a very good pick, but there's that one team from Slam Diego. They're playing this month the Giants, Rangers, Pirates, Dodgers, Brewers, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Giants. So Dodgers and Brewers I'm not exactly confident for, but the rest of the teams were sub 500 last season. So I'm giving the edge to the Padres. You know, they've got the great pitching that they got from this offseason. They have a great offense going, which has been scoring a lot over the last couple of days. So I'm giving it to the Padres.
I mean, yeah, a lot of
20 wins maybe?
A lot of people are predicting they might win the World Series this year. And I know they're the Padres and they have the stigma that they haven't been great since Tony Gwynn left 20, 30 years ago. But the thing is, everyone they got. Tatis is the face of the MLB, arguably. So I think that's a fair, safe pick. A lot safer than the Twins, but we'll see. I mean, take it a game at a time. Even the best teams in baseball sometimes fall, but I think that's a good pick.
If they both have the same record, by the way, we both get a tie.
Or we got to do rock, paper, scissors on air or something like that.
Deal. I'm fine.
We're saying that now, so we'll leave that in the archives.
Always pick paper.
Or something.
So, Alex, next one. Who will be the biggest breakout player this month?
For me, it's someone who I actually just acquired in fantasy. I'm making a lot of fantasy analogies today. And this is Ty France on the Seattle Mariners, who actually is batting second in the order. When 2 years ago, I think he was in the Padres organization, and he was really a nobody, honestly. And I hate to say that, but he really came into his own. He's a designated hitter, a second baseman, and an outfielder. He has a lot of utility under his belt. Versatility. And that's what's really key with a team like the Mariners, who are young and trying to sort of rebuild in a way. They don't really have a star. Maybe Kyle Seager, if you want to say that. But
Kyle Lewis.
Yeah. The two Kyles. But the thing is, Ty France, got to go with him. We might see someone else, like we'll get into someone later who might be the breakout of the month, but I'm just teasing.
Oh, easily.
I'm teasing that, but Ty France for me, I think that's a safe pick as well. So
Nate Lau, or is his name Nate? Let me check real quick. Yes, it is Nate Lau.
It is Nate the Great.
Of the Texas Rangers. First Rangers player to ever hit 10 RBIs in his first 4 games. That's very noteworthy, I would say. He's only 25 years old. In 93 games in AAA, he batted .289, .1663 with a .421 on base. That's very high. That's a great on base percentage right there.
That's what you want to see.
And 10 RBIs in 4 games, that's always something you got to look towards. So, I mean, he might be on pace at this point to hit like 30 RBIs in the first month.
Yeah.
That might be it.
I think that Nate Lau, once again, a name that's not the prettiest, but from his production so far in the young year, looking well. So
sorry, Nate, I got your name confused with Brandon Lau of the Tampa Bay Rays, so my apologies. So next up, Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt can be the best corner infield in baseball, I would say, arguably. So over under 34.5 RBIs in the month of April.
I would say over, just because those two names alone. I mean, Arenado might even get like 20 if we're feeling lucky. And then Goldschmidt, one of the premier first basemen in the league for many, many years. And the fact he went from the Diamondbacks to the Cardinals. Now he has another superstar with Arenado. Both of them had sort of down years last year. I'm going to say Goldschmidt maybe did a little better. But the two of them together, I would say over. So
I've also got to say over. I mean, there's not much to say about Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. They're some of the most productive hitters in MLB. And I was checking their stats recently from the month of April. They both average about 20 RBIs per month, per April.
On the track they're going, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
so I've got to give them the over. I mean, that's no question there. And then going on to our next topic of discussion, what will be the higher number in April? Trevor Bauer wins of the Los Angeles Dodgers or quarterbacks taken in the top 10 in the NFL draft? Now, I was looking at the mock draft. There are 5 QBs right now in the mock draft in the top 10. So
that's a tough one. Assuming the Dodgers offense is good, I would say Bauer's going to get like maybe 4 or 5. But the thing is, the quarterbacks are guaranteed. A lot of football teams need to rebuild as well. So I'm going to go with quarterbacks taken.
You know what? I'm going pro Trevor Bauer here. And I will say this. The Dodgers had the most runs in baseball last year. And Bauer's his runs per game was 3 runs per game. His run support last year.
Well, on the Dodgers,
Reds,
you're going to get that.
But if you're getting more with the Dodgers from their runs from last season, we're talking about like 6-7 runs a game we're talking about. Yeah. He's going to get a lot of run support. That's
easily. I agree with you. We'll see you in the draft in a few weeks, whenever it is. But
that's my sleeper pick right there. And then finally, what will be the final score of our fantasy matchup next week?
So it's categories. So there's, I believe, 10 categories, right?
I'm
going to say, I hate to sound a little arrogant, but I have to go with myself because you beat me last year. I'm going to go with 6-3-1.
I've seen the career head-to-head with us, and I actually have the edge. I think I'm beating you by like 10, 15 categories.
No, you are. That's why I want to feel confident because I hate losing.
Of course, I've got to give myself the edge. I mean, yes, you have some good players. You got Nelson Cruz in there, but I have Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, we just discussed him, and he's going to destroy me, so I'm looking forward to that.
Hot take, he's going to hit 2 grand slams during our matchup.
Maybe in the same inning, he's a Cardinal, so.
That's probably not going to happen. But that is our April predictions. Coming up, we'll take you around the bases on WTOP 10. Stick around.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
If you think trains will stop if they see a car on the tracks, you're right. They will. About a mile after they hit you. Stop. Trains can't.
Welcome to Back-to-Backs Around the Bases, where me and Noah will answer rapid-fire questions about the MLB and baseball as a whole.
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh, you beat me to that. You beat me to that. That was very fast.
Shoot it. Go ahead.
So during opening week, we witnessed a cat running onto the field, and it was Coors Field, so Colorado. Who would win a race? That cat or Mookie Betts of the Dodgers?
The cat. That's it. Plain and simple.
The cat in the hat?
The cat was, yes, the cat in the hat. that was a very quick cat. I've got to give that cat major props. That we're talking, if that cat was playing in the bigs, we're talking like 60 stolen bases. Maybe might beat Ricky Henderson's record.
Well, that's an even better question. I'm going to say this real fast. Would he beat Ricky Henderson, that cat? He or she. I'm not sure the gender of the cat.
No question.
All right, you got me there.
Would beat the same cat on during the Giants game, MetLife Stadium, was running on the field.
Oh, and also one more baseball reference with the cat, the black cat incident in 1969 with the Mets. That gave them a lot of good luck.
The Coors cat is the best cat.
Yeah, and
let's get that straight.
The beer really isn't, but well, that's another debate.
Yeah.
So another thing that I was alluding to earlier, Yermin Mercedes of the White Sox was off to one of the hottest starts ever for a player. And he went 8 for 8, and that set a Major League Baseball record. Is he a potential Rookie of the Year candidate?
It's early. Let's just get that straight. It's only 4 or 5 games
down.
in. He definitely looks like someone who can potentially be there. I mean, he's actually in the place of Andrew Vaughn, who I picked up in fantasy actually as their DH. It's definitely nice to see this. I mean, this is a very noteworthy record. We're talking 8 for 8. So for now, I'll say no, but it wouldn't surprise me if I see him later on in the race.
8 for 8 is very great. I gotta give one of those jokes a show. It's just who I am.
Gotta do it.
No, it's great stuff. It's a great story, but we got 162 game season, so we'll see where that goes.
Definitely.
So on opening day, Akil Baddoo of the Detroit Tigers hit a home run on the first strike he saw in the major leagues. So where does this rank among best opening day moments that you've seen or that you've heard of?
I should mention, so we're filming this on Monday. Earlier, he actually hit a grand slam on the first pitch he saw in the 9th inning. So, I mean, this is just incredible what this guy's doing. I mean, that's definitely up there for me for best opening day moments.
I would agree with that. I mean, just the fact that you wait your whole life to enter the big leagues. Without even hesitating, you hit a nuke. That's just what you do. And I think that's a dream come true for many youngsters when they're finally enter the...
There's not many players I could think of who have done this. I mean, like, the one I could think of, like, probably Starling Marte. He did it a couple years back, but definitely seeing this happening, this is great for baseball.
No, I totally, and even stuff, I mean, this is an opening day, just like Jeter, his 3,000th hit was a home run, stuff like that, Wade Boggs too. Just, that's
Absolutely.
amazing storybook moments. So as of today, I mean, they just lost, but the Orioles were 3-0 to start the season. They just lost to the Yankees a few hours ago. So are we underestimating the Orioles this season overall?
I believe so. I mean, talk about Anthony Santander, Trey Mancini, John Means pitched a gem against the Boston Red Sox. They might be that sweeper team. I mean, no, I can't see them winning the AL East. You got to put the Yankees, Rays, and Blue Jays up there. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they go 500 this season.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I would say in a way, like the Red Sox are sort of an embarrassment. I know their history is great, one of the best teams ever, but they've been abysmal to start the season. And the Orioles, as we said, they have a lot of players coming back, like Trey Mancini, and a nice rotation as well. So I think that they can surprise
I will
us.
say this. If we see a 50 home run season from Chris Davis, maybe.
Well, he's hurt.
Oh, he's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's out for like 60 games.
Then never mind that then.
Yeah, no.
Let's just scratch that.
That didn't happen. That erased. So going to the Rangers again, they're another one of our favorite teams to discuss on here.
Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo, my prediction's looking good so far, but long season. So they finally had their home opener on Monday with a capacity at 100%. So what are your thoughts or the implications that Major League Baseball is going to have to deal with for the rest of the season with this decision?
I mean, I've seen the footage. It just looks ridiculous there. I mean, I have no words really. Like 100% capacity this soon. I mean, I wasn't expecting this until at least October, to be honest with you. Like the postseason. I expect that for the postseason.
Well, I mean, without, once again, not trying to get into politics. This is a sports show. But my only reason to defend this is if they have restrictions, mask wearing, all that stuff that we've been talking about for like the last year. But it is an interesting decision from Texas. And we know they are more red down there, and without going to politics, that's the reason I would say. But hopefully everyone stays safe in Texas if they go to a game. Make sure you follow procedures. That's what we want. And I'm not sure if I agree with the decision, but the owners think differently than us. So
absolutely. Quick, what are your thoughts? Because we just heard this earlier. What are your thoughts on Coors Field hosting the All-Star game over Atlanta?
Let's just say I said this when I first found out. The home run derby is going to be inflated. Tons of home runs with the
final
altitude.
Score of the All-Star game, 16-12.
It's going to feel like the NBA.
It's a hitter's ballpark there.
High scoring.
We're going to see home runs left and right. We're talking.
I want Joey Gallo to do the home run derby. Joey Gallo, if
please
you're interested,
please do it. Please, we are big Joey Gallo fans here.
So Coors Field and the Coloradians that live there. Good luck. I mean, the All-Star game is a treat to host. So,
and that wraps up Around the Bases from all of us here at Back to Back. Noah Cowan, Alex Kent. See you next week, everybody. Take care.